Hi guys, this is Shalina with Shalina Speaks, and today we're going to talk about the war in Israel. The war in Israel is escalating between both sides, exchanging heavy fire. Israel forces have launched airstrikes on Gaza, while Hamas militants have fired rockets at Israel. The conflict began Saturday, October 8, 2023, when Hamas militant launched a surprise attack on southern Israel. The attack killed hundreds of Israelis and injured thousands more. Israel responded with several airstrikes against Gaza, targeting Hamas military installations. However, the airstrikes have also killed and injured hundreds of civilians. As of October 8th, at least 260 Palestinians have been killed in conflict, according to the health ministry in Gaza. At least 500 Israelis have been killed, according to the Israeli Army radio. The war has also displaced thousands of people on both sides. The United Nations and the United States have called for ceasefire, but neither side has agreed. The following are some of the latest development in the war on Israel. The Israeli forces have reportedly captured dozens of Hamas militants, including senior commanders. Hamas has claimed to have captured several Israeli soldiers and are holding them captive. Israel has declared war on Hamas and has said that it is prepared for a long conflict. The United States has sent a delegation to the region to try to mediate ceasefire. It is unclear how long the war in Israel will last. However, it is clear that conflict is devastating, and it's going to have a devastating impact on both Israelis and Palestinians and possibly the world. It is the most important to continue the work for them to find a peaceful resolution. How do you guys feel about this? Let's hear from our president.
That the United States stands with Israel. We will not ever fail to have their back. We'll make sure that they have the help their citizens need and they can continue to defend themselves.
Well, there are now signs of a significant military response from the US, with plans to move US Navy ships and military aircraft closer to Israel as a sign of support. Our US correspondent Mark Stone joins me now from the White House. And Mark, this looks, on the face of it, a significant move.
Yes, what's being described as a show of force. It is posturing by the United States, but it reflects also the seriousness of this weekend and how quickly things could deteriorate and could spiral and could spread beyond Gaza, beyond Israel, Palestine. A total of 6 ships, a task force of 6 ships, is being sent now on the orders of President Biden. They will be headed by the flagship, the U.S. aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, and with that, a guided missile cruiser and 4 guided missile destroyers. So this is
the Hamas terrorist invasion of Israeli territory, and the murder of Israeli soldiers today, and the brutal murder of citizens is an act of savagery that must and will be crushed, It has to be dealt with very powerfully. This is a time where the United States needs leadership. We don't have leadership. But Israel is at war, and the United States obviously is going to stick with Israel, and strongly. The war happened for 2 reasons. The United States is giving and gave to Iran $6 billion, $6 billion, over hostages. And, there was a very good trade. They got 5 hostages. We got 5 hostages. Okay, that's the good news. The bad news is, and their hostages were tough, by the way, I have to tell you. That was, okay, let's assume they're doing just fine. But it was 5 for 5. But in addition to that, we agreed to free up $6 billion. And that is an absolute disaster. And I would not be at all surprised if part of that tremendous wealth that they just accumulated went into all of a sudden watching this level of aggression. They didn't have that level of aggression with me. They didn't have it. This would have never happened with me either. You know what wouldn't have happened?
The scenes that we've seen in Israel over the past 36 hours are truly horrifying. I want to express my absolute solidarity for the people of Israel. Now is not a time for equivocation, and I'm unequivocal. Hamas and the people who support Hamas are fully responsible for this appalling act of terror, for the murder of civilians and for the kidnapping of innocent people, including children. I've just spoken with Prime Minister Netanyahu to assure him of the UK's steadfast support as Israel defends itself against these appalling attacks. We will do everything that we can to help. Terrorism will not prevail.
ve yerleşimci şiddetinden derin endişe duyuyor. Bu vesileyle hayatını kaybeden Filistinli kardeşlerimize bir kez daha Allah'tan rahmet, Filistin devleti ve halkına başsağlığı diliyorum.